Welcome, everybody, to the Databricks Community Webinar. My name is Denny Lee. I'm the host for today's wonderful webinar. We're going to be talking to Connor about AI Parse, a really cool functionality from Databricks. But before we get into it, I did want to have introduced the team here. We've got a wonderful group from RD and research to talk a little bit today about the science, the engineering behind what we're doing as well in terms of AI parse document. So saying that, I'm going to start off with the PM. Archika, why don't you introduce yourself first?
Yeah, of course. Nice to meet everyone. I'm a product manager here at Databricks working on our AI functions. And our team is working super hard to make intelligent document processing on Databricks end to end a really delightful, high quality, and scalable experience for our customers' production workloads. So, really excited to chat about AI parse document and some of the other functions that we're building out over the next few months with everyone here.
Perfect. Thanks very much, Archika. All right, then let's go next with Adyasha. Why don't you introduce yourself? Love the fact that we have some great folks from research to talk about intelligent document processing. Love to hear a little bit more about your background.
Hey everyone, I'm Adyasha. I'm the research scientist on the Databricks team, and I work on the AI Parse document product. Uh, During my PhD, I worked on vision language models, and I've continued doing that. The backbone of the AI Parse document are vision language models. So I've continued my work here on how to make them work for complex documents.
That is so cool. Thank you very much. Z, you're next. And again, another awesome researcher. Love to have the fact that we've got y'all joining us. So please, Z, introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you, Denny. Hi, everyone. I'm Ziyi. I'm a research scientist at Databricks, where I focus on multimodal, large model, development on document intelligence. Have been working on this document model development work behind AirParse, including model training, data quality efforts, and evaluation. So over the past few months, our team has been pushing toward to more accurate, robust, and cost-efficient document understanding for enterprise workflows. So excited to be here and share more about the system and answer questions today.
Z, thank you very much, Z. I love the fact that you're calling out. It's not just about the accuracy and the vision models that Adyasha called out, but also the fact that we make it cheaper. That's really cool. That's a very important concept. Now, this can all happen without actually engineering support. So without further ado, Fanghan, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Fanghan. I'm a software engineer working in Databricks, focusing on building document parsing, also known as AI parse document. Our mission is make it fast, cheap, and easy to process and query unstructured data using AI. So we built this AI parse document from 0 to 1. It's actually started from a hackathon project in Databricks, and then we got a lot of interest from customers and from leadership. Then we built this product as of today, but in the future, it's going to be further be improved.
I love the fact that you're calling out that we're basically doing hackathon projects, and that's actually how we build a lot of the cool features. At some point, we're going to have to. This is a side note for anybody listening to this webinar. I'm going to have to go ahead and include our interns too, because the running joke we have at Databricks is all of our interns are actually the ones that do the actual engineering. But I digress completely. Connor, without further ado, love to reintroduce you because, in fact, you were the one that actually did this wonderful post about AI parse document. Super popular. Lots of folks definitely followed it. We want to definitely have you introduce yourself, and then let's go ahead and go right into the demo. So yeah, without further ado, Connor.
Yeah, beautiful. Thanks for having me, guys. And I actually didn't know that AI Parse was a hackathon project. I think the other one I know of is Databricks Apps was a hackathon project internally at Databricks. So that's cool that a lot of products that customers are using are actually hackathon projects internally, or that's how they start. So yeah, it's cool to be a part of this. I'm a customer using the thing that you guys are building. So obviously very happy to be here and chat with you guys. I work at Plains Midstream. I work up in Canada. We're a midstream oil and gas company. And I kind of got started down this path of using AI functions where, Databricks publishes the idea of the AI value pyramid. So right at the top there, you have UI and chatbots and agents, which are really cool. But we kind of struggled to get value from those immediately. So we kind of turned to batch inference, where we're bringing in unstructured and structured data from a variety of different sources internally. And we were just sort of applying, those AI functions, whether it be extract or summarize, and now AI parse kind of at scale, right? Some of our databases have hundreds of millions of rows, and we've gotten a lot of good results from them. And I think that's kind of helped us figure out, and show to leadership what the value prop is behind generative AI, show some returns on some of the investment that we're making. And that's how we got down this path of using AI parse.
Oh, that's really interesting. So one thing that I'm curious about, as you described, right, is that because you're typically working with oil and gas, right? That's your wheelhouse. Did you find that lots of folks were like hesitant to try out using things like AI parse document in the first, or just LMs in the first place? I'm just curious from your perspective as somebody that actually needs to go ahead and convince people to use this stuff.
Yeah, it's always tough. Thankfully, both of my leaders are ex Microsoft, so they're very forward thinking from a technology standpoint. So like that definitely helps. Being enabled with the right tools and showing back to the business some of the either cost savings or quality of life improvements with some of the dashboards or apps that we're building is helpful as well. But we have really good support with our leadership internally, which is great.
Oh, that's super good to hear. Okay, perfect. Well, without further ado, let's dive into the demo. I think you said you had some slides to showcase what our scenario was, because basically it was, I think we're doing a bit of a setup where because we have to do like public data, or sorry, data that we can show publicly, I guess, because it's not technically public data. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. And Denny, we're very brave to suggest this use case, and I hope we don't uncover anything crazy in these receipts. But
I seriously hope not. Yeah, yeah.
But people don't like putting in expenses. When I travel down to Houston for work, I don't like having to take pictures of receipts and then input them into our expensing software. So this is kind of a cool one where, Denny, you've been very kind to provide us all of your receipts. And we're going to see if we can kind of derive some insights from them using a variety of different technologies in Databricks. So
By the way,
yeah.
Oh yeah. So to Connor's point, so the whole reason I thought is, by the way, so there's actually a little bit of my own past inside this one. So I used to work for SAP Concur. And so one of our big things was basically expense reporting. And so because everybody loves expense reporting, and by the way, please, let's hope we're not doing a social clip where that's why I stayed. Okay. Everybody loves expense reporting, in which we all have to go do it, whether you're a startup, whether you're an enterprise, you have to go ahead and do expenses. And I was thinking to ourselves, what's a good way for us to showcase the coolness of AI parse document on a scenario that everybody can relate to, even if they despise? So that's the background. Connor, take it away.
for sure. So just to add some additional context to that, so Denny sent me a bunch of his receipts, and to kind of visualize it in the standard medallion architecture, and what we'll go through in the demo is we land the receipts basically into a volume in Unity Catalog, and what we're calling the bronze layer. And then moving from bronze to silver, we're going to leverage AI parse document, which is going to OCR those receipts and then get them into a delta table. And then we're going to do one more transformation where we use AI extract to pull out some important information and kind of help guide things like Genie and our dashboarding to answer some questions about what is Denny expensing. So that's how the data is going to flow, I guess, end to end. So
perfect. Yeah. All right, let's do this. This is going to be painful.
So let's jump over to Databricks. And I've preloaded.
Let's zoom in just a little bit, so that way it's a little bit easier for folks to see. Sorry
about that. No, that's okay. How's that look?
Maybe one more, please.
One more. Okay.
Yeah, perfect. I think folks can be able to see that easily. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful.
You might have to zoom in and zoom out. By the way, you know how the UI can sometimes flip on you. So
yes.
So
yes.
Yeah. So heads up on that one.
I should have. I always forget my keyboard shortcuts there, but yes, I'll take care of that. So got some receipts loaded into a Unity Catalog volume. So these are just the JPEGs as is, and this was kind of cool because like my experience with AI parse thus far has been on like PDF contracts. So I didn't know how well or not it was going to perform on top of receipts, and the results are pretty cool, which I'll show you you guys in a second. So there's about 240 receipts. Takes 10-12 minutes to run, and we'll run an actual example here in a second. But basically the way that the table looks is we have the path showing which receipt was OCR'd. We have the raw JSON information that gets returned from AI parse document with the bounding boxes, the coordinates, a description of any images that were, well, I guess the receipts are images, so a description, and then the extracted OCR text. And then basically the way that this looks is it extracts exactly what is on the receipt, and we have that in a text column. And then we generate another table, which again, I'll show all of the SQL scripts here in a second, where we extract some important bits of information to help kind of guide the kinds of questions we're going to ask Genie. So we have the raw OCR text again. We extract things like merchant name, total amount, location, as well as the currency and tip amount to see if Denny's a good tipper or not. And we'll ask some of those fun questions, as well as the
Oh
merchant
man, you're
type.
gonna call me out like this? Damn, dude.
You gave me full reign, man. So
Yeah,
I
did.
took advantage.
So yeah. So basically, just as an ad, while we he gave him full reign, we are going to share the actual code scripts. We're not sharing my receipts, though. I do want to call that out. We are
Okay.
not doing that.
I appreciate you clarifying that. I'll make sure I don't check that into Git, Denny.
Thank you, Rush.
So this was the script that I had written in SQL to run the AI parse documents, and you can see like the table that we just looked at is there. So all of this is parameterized, and just to show how this kind of looks end to end, I'm going to create a new temp table, and I'm going to limit to 10 receipts, and you'll see we're still pointing to that same volume where all of those receipts are stored. So if I just scroll down and just quickly walk through the code here, AI parse document is right here. And then the source volume path, basically what that's going to do is it's going to read through all of the files that exist inside of that storage volume in Unity catalog. So the cool part here is this all integrates very nicely into the languages that data engineers are very familiar with, right? Being, SQL in this case, and it tightly integrates and couples into Unity catalog. So no managing API keys or anything like that. It works like any of the other AI functions that you've used in the past.
No, really good. By the way, I just love the fact that you're doing a call out to the parameters as well to make this really simple for data engineers. So that way they can just go ahead and swap out, toss in a different table. Love the fact that you get the limit there. So that way we can demo it really quickly as well. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and this should be pretty quick. So to run on 10, I imagine this will take just under a minute to execute. And then while we wait for this to run, I'll walk through the next script that I have. And this is actually using another one of the AI functions called AI classify. And this is how we're actually like structuring the data out of the OCR content. So the OCR content's great because now we've gone from like a digital, PDF or receipt, and we've gotten that into a Delta table. But now to have like Genie interact with that data or build a dashboard on top of, we need to start extracting some information. And really that's the transformation moving from silver to gold. So once we have that OCR table generated, we can then extract some structured information into the gold layer.
Love it.
And then I'm just going to go check on this quick and see how we're doing. And I'm going to copy this table name while this is running to make sure that we read from the right table here. And I'll make sure I give the same limits. And I'll also update the table name where the structured information is actually going to be written. And then I guess I'll step through the table here. So
Right.
exactly what we saw earlier on the full data set. Similar columns are exactly the same. We have reference to the receipt that was read, the raw output from AI parse, as well as the OCR'd text that got returned. And you can see there must be a table or something inside of one of those receipts, and it extracted the, I guess, HTML or maybe Markdown labels here. So an LLM can kind of recognize that as a table. And then now that we have that table created, so I'll just refresh my Unity catalog here. And the other thing I forgot to highlight, this is actually running in the free edition as well. So if folks want to try this in their own environment, they absolutely can.
Oh, I love that. So basically, you just showcased running this live on the free edition with the 10 receipts. That's brilliant. Obviously, in when you want to run for the enterprise, you'll run the full thing. But at least if you want to play with it right from the get-go, you can use the free edition right from the get-go. I love that.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So our new table's created, and then I'm going to jump back and I'm going to run that AI classified script that's going to extract things like if it's like what's the merchant type, what's the location of the transaction, the currency, the merchant name, and we're going to run it against that OCR full temp table that we just created. So the cool part here is now we're like chaining different AI functions together to output a table that we can start deriving insights from. So this one's usually pretty quick. And if I refresh my Unity catalog again, I can see that the temp table has been created and we should have 10 rows in here, which we do. So you can see there's the OCR text that AI parse extracted, and then we have each of our fields that AI classify extracted in a table now that we can start interacting with. So what we've done so far, we've taken some receipts out of the bronze volume, we've applied AI parse to those receipts, and then now we have one final table where we can start interacting with Genie as well as AIBI dashboards, which I'll show next. So I'll go into my Genie space, and I'm going to ask some questions about your expenses here, Denny. So,
oh no! So this is where you're going to call me out. So before you call me out, let's make sure we just summarize for everybody listening, right? So you just showcased how you used free edition to go ahead and parse through 10 of my receipts super quick, and built that medallion architecture to OCR to basically parse the document, in this case, images versus the PDFs that you normally do, right? And then also be able to do the extraction so you can extract out all the data. So now you're going to put Genie in front of this thing specifically to call me out, specifically to go and ask questions on what the heck I'm doing. Is that accurate?
That's right. And if I'm asking too many personal questions on your receipts, Denny, you can stop me. So please feel free.
Oh no, we're live. I don't think there's anything I can do now. So hopefully I didn't send you anything that I can't reveal.
We're gonna find out pretty quick.
We're gonna find out. Okay, all right. Here, let's do it. Let's do it.
So just to actually quickly talk about the configuration, basically all I've done in Genie here is I've brought in that receipt metadata full table where we've extracted location, currency, tip amount, those kinds of things. So Genie should be able to very easily start answering questions on that table. So the first one I'm going to ask is, well, what's your favorite restaurant? So most common restaurant visited.
Cool. Actually, this will be good. I'm not even sure which one I want. Which one it is.
So let's see what it says. So it's gonna write some SQL for us in the background. So it says it's a restaurant called Lamar. Does that seem right, Denny?
Yeah, I think that's very accurate. Yeah. So there's just for I'm not doing a paid endorsement for this, but basically there's a wonderful Peruvian restaurant called Lamar. I go to the one in San Francisco often. There's actually one in Bellevue as well. So yes, that is probably my favorite restaurant right now.
I'll have to give that a try when I'm at the Data and AI Summit next year.
Yes. Yes. And by the way, oh yeah, we're probably going to run an MVP dinner there too, by the way. So our lunch there. So yeah, so don't worry, I'll make sure you're included in that one.
Excellent.
Yes.
Now I'll ask a follow-up question. So I'll say, what restaurants do we have receipts for in Montreal?
Oh, c'est bien. Merci beaucoup.
And then make sure to include the location column just so we can kind of do a validation to make sure that Genie's returned the right data. So I'll send that off.
Cool. Too bad my receipts I can't make it a Montreal versus New York bagel discussion, but I don't worry. I've got a bunch of researchers from New York. I don't need to cause problems right now. So.
Yeah, that'll require another session, I think.
I think so. I think so. Yes.
So return 5 rows here, and these, based on the location, it does look like that these restaurants are indeed in Montreal. So looks right.
Yep, those look right. Dandy is a wonderful. I'm surprised La Finca is not there, but maybe I didn't send you a receipt with La Finca. Mapumelier is a wonderful Portuguese chicken poutine place, by the way. And Dandy has got some damn good pancakes, just in case you care. And Bistro Ko Ut, I did want to call them out too. No, I'm not a paid sponsor. Amazingly good Vietnamese food. Like
Okay.
seriously, like
I
rock
used to
star.
I used to go to Montreal once a month ish, and I haven't actually heard of any of these restaurants. So obviously, I'm missing out if I haven't been here before or to those
Okay, no,
restaurants.
dude, Connor, don't worry. I'm not trying to offside. I'm going to send you my personal blog that actually has all of this. Okay.
Okay, beautiful.
All right.
See, I knew there were more reasons than just to show AI parse for this webinar.
Yeah. No,
Danny, so.
I mean, I am secretly going also trying to shout out to my second city of Montreal, which basically y'all should go there.
It's a great city.
Yes, absolutely.
And the last question I think I'll ask is, based on this data, can we determine if the tip amount was good or not?
Oh, dang.
And,
okay.
I don't know,
I'm really called out.
Maybe this is this might be a hot take, but for me, I think having worked in the restaurant biz, I always appreciate a 20% or above tip. So let's see what happens here. Let's see what Genie's able to uncover about your tipping habits, Denny.
All right. Now flames here.
So here we go. Okay. So it looks like it actually calculated a percentage, which we didn't extract that in our gold table to begin with.
Oh, cool.
So let's see here. Oh, and it actually generated a little chart for us. So
nice.
Few. Let's see. What do we got here? So it actually looks like it did it right on top of the Montreal restaurants that we asked previously.
Gotcha.
And instead of the full data set, so we could probably kind of prompt the agent or the Genie to do it on the full data set. But this is pretty cool because now you can see exactly like the tip amount that was given on a particular transaction.
Also, the tip amount is the one. I'm wondering, is it the one that I wrote down or is it the one I clicked? That's okay, not that big deal, but that's seriously cool.
A lot of them were the ones that you actually hand wrote, and when I checked this to begin with, AI Parse did a pretty good job of extracting the handwritten note as well, which is impressive.
Oh, sweet.
Those are always tough. Yeah.
All right.
And then just to validate all this information, I built a bit of a dashboard as well on top of this data. So you sent me 240 receipts in total. You can see like the most visited restaurants. So Genie did come back with Lamar, so we can see that here on the dashboard. Your most frequent transaction types. So looks like restaurants is number one. I think you speculated parking was going to be number one, but that's not personally what I'm seeing in the data. So some interesting findings there.
That's fair. Apparently, I go to restaurants a lot more than I realized. So that's fair.
Well, you know the good spots, man. So
yes, priorities.
And then same thing for the restaurants visited in Montreal. We have the 5 rows again. And then this is me just displaying the raw, I guess it's our gold table in this case where we have the location, the merchant name, total amount, basically everything we extracted as a part of that AI extract function. And that basically concludes the demo. But we got all the way from some unstructured images that were receipts, and we were able to put a Genie space and a dashboard on top to extract some insights.
Perfect. I really love this, and so thanks for calling me out on the tips. So I was there, but not quite. So my bad. Apparently, I need to work a little bit better. So I'll definitely do that. By the same token, love the fact that I got to do a shout out to Montreal. That's always a good thing, and of course, a shout out to Lamar. All right, saying that, love to bring back the researchers and the R&D folks, if you can jump back in, because we've got some questions from the audience, and they're definitely interested. So let me just dive into this right away, if that's okay. And then for anybody else that's involved, not just Archika, or for example, for the next question, Connor, Fanghan, Ziyi, Adyasha, if you want to chime in, by all means, go ahead and chime in too. But let me start off right away. So the first question that's just come through the wire, which is the most obvious one. Archika, I have to call you out on this one, so that I'm not the only person called out for this webinar, okay? The question is, like, can you provide any roadmap plans on the next versions of AI functions, like the query, the extract, classify? We showcases the parse, obviously, right from the get-go. We showcased extract right away, but I'm just curious, can you provide a little bit of context here?
Yeah, super happy to. Maybe I can start off by like even just giving some historical context of like how we even decided that we were gonna really create a best-in-class experience in this space. So basically, over the past few years, like or a year or so, our product team has been talking to hundreds of customers who are all trying to do very similar things across like every single kind of industry. They're trying to pull in structured insights from their unstructured data to drive some sort of like business intelligence or automation of like existing manual unproductive processes. So one of the first problems we heard was, hey, I need a really simple way to like pull in all of these unstructured documents, PDFs, Word documents, etc., into something structured and usable that my agentic workflows can actually like use downstream. And so Fanghan's hackathon project was like obviously a huge blessing to us in this respect, where we got like AI parse document into a beta super quickly. And those conversations we were initially having turned into like real momentum. Like it became one of the fastest growing products in our company. And many of them were actually adopting downstream offerings in our Agent Brick suite via like our remaining AI functions. So AI parse document was really just step one to enabling the rest of like an agentic workflow that they were trying to build. So now we're investing super heavily in making this end-to-end like intelligent document processing or IDP experience really amazing on Databricks, something that's super simple for customers to build from start to finish, high quality out of the box, and then also scalable via performance and cost on millions of documents that like single customers are basically trying to run. And so that work really spans our like research, product, and engineering teams that are all like coming together to build this experience. So in the near future, what I can talk about in terms of roadmap are some major upgrades to two of the most like popular workflows that we're seeing on Databricks, most notably through our AI extract and AI classify functions that kind of represent this like pretty like canonical trinity of what people are trying to do, what customer workloads are trying to achieve by like parsing, then classifying what kind of documents they're getting, and then extracting the relevant information or structured like intelligence from those documents. So for AI extract, what you can kind of expect are expanded support for richer, more complex schemas that better represent our customers' workloads, really huge improvements in quality and cost performance at scale with some new research-backed techniques that are going to be going into that function, and then also allowing you as a customer to inject your domain knowledge into the schema that you're trying to build through instructions, descriptions, etc., so that your results are faithful to your enterprise workloads. Because we know that different customers are going to be coming with, different things that they're trying to achieve, and we want to make sure that our system does a really good job at that. For AI Classify, pretty similar story there. A lot of enhancements in capabilities, broadening our category supports, adding ways to enrich those categories with domain-specific knowledge, and then also delivering the stronger research-backed classification system with high accuracy, performance, and cost out of the box. And then at a more meta level, like I think one of the most exciting pieces of this is that all of these functions, they're being worked on by like the same team. So they're all going to be fully composable with each other. So AI extract is going to understand what AI parse document outputs and vice versa. So they're all going to be able to talk to each other really easily. And all of them kind of live in a context that's in line where our customer's data already lives. You just need to point it to a UC volume, as Connor showed, or like a delta table. And so you'll be able to parse, classify, and extract from a document super easily. No custom like glue code you need to manage, no brittle like pre or post processing, which is like one of the main pain points that we see customers facing when they're trying to use a lot of like the fragmented solutions out there. And then obviously, because it's all on like our unified Databricks platform, everything's going to be governed, and there's going to be lineage through Unity Catalog for the pipelines that you're trying to build. And we're also integrating super intentionally with like the jobs and pipelines part of Databricks to make sure that like AI-driven ETL becomes like a really great native experience. So I think that was like a pretty long answer, but the TLDR is that we're working on a lot of stuff, and the team's moving super fast. We're iterating really fast. Even AI parse document has like a bunch of new features and capabilities coming up that we'd be happy to talk about. So that's kind of the high level of where we're going.
Oh, this is amazing. But one thing I definitely did want to call, you mentioned that basically AI parse, AI extract, AI classify, all these different AI functions, they basically are aware of each other. So I did want to call this out. So basically, you're able to basically build these chains, like
Yes.
where they all actually interoperate with each other, so they're aware of what the other one's doing.
Yeah, exactly. Because that is basically that was like, in a sense, Connor's workload as well. Like, you're never going to really use one of them in isolation. Most of our customers are like chaining 2 to 3 to more functions together to build like an end-to-end IDP workflow.
Awesome. Thank you. That's anything. Anybody else want to chime in before I go to the next question that's coming down the wire? All right, no worries. All right, I know this is going to be definitely targeted more to our research folks. So Ziyi, Adyasha, I think the next question here that's coming down the wire is like, hey, what can you tell us about the models and the research behind AI parse? Right. I mean, this is really cool, but this demo that Connor showcased. But I'm also curious in terms of like, hey, like, what are these? Like, what's going on? Like, can you tell us like how the research, the science behind this stuff? Because I think you actually hinted at it, like there's also these vision models that are coming into play. Cool. What does it mean? I guess from the to the rest of us who actually are not research scientists.
Oh, yeah. So, I can share that AI parse document is definitely designed to tackle the complex and real-world challenges of enterprise document parsing. Not just OCR text extraction, but also like deep layout. For example, like Colin just showed, for table extraction, it's not just extracting the table cell content, but also extracting like how exactly these cells align with each other. And also, we also have a new functionality that is diagram understanding, like providing the figure description if there's any figure in the input documents. Some of our research highlights include like, for example, end-to-end training of the underlying document parsing models, and also rather than training like many separate, different like subsources to extract the context, and also like we're definitely focused on cost and performance improvement. For instance, we achieve the matching exceeding leading systems like other services providers, but with 5 times lower cost. And our research also focus on research engineering work in model architecture, inference optimization, and also data centric training, to focus on robustness, for instance, handling mixed digital native plus scanned content of, for instance, handwritten content extraction to run charts, photos of physical documents in regular layouts, things like this. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, look, as a follow up to that, though, because so I guess the real call is like the complexity. Like, obviously, the expenses that we did for the demo is a relatively simplistic demo. Not a shout out to you, Connor, but by the same token, I'm just curious, like when you're talking about the complicated PDFs, are you talking about, like, for example, PDFs that, for example, have charts inside them, tables, table headers, table columns? Like, this is the stuff that's still relatively complicated to do. Like, is that the context you're coming from here?
Yeah. So, for example, the scenario we just mentioned is a really good case of complex documents. Um, I think there's multiple dimensions here. Recognizing the spatial relationship between different elements, like tables, figures, regular text, the logo in the beginning, and also like very faithful, highly accurate extraction parsing of each element. So I would say OCR itself is not a solved problem. It's still a active, research problem with a lot of challenges to address.
Gotcha. Anybody else want to chime anything in before my next? Because I actually have my own personal question related to this now. So, but anybody else want to chime in?
I can add a little bit about. I want to specifically call out the amount of work we did into gathering data for our models.
Okay,
So
please.
the document understanding use case, as we talked to customers, as we heard from our product managers, the kind of diversity in the documents that our customers wanted to try out on these models, the spectrum is like huge. It can go from like receipts and invoices to full page tables and very dense documents with a lot of text in it. I think initially we were just like blown away by the kind of diversity we expect. And we have spent a lot of hours trying to get our models work really, really well on every kind of document. And I'm really proud of the work that we have done to ensure that and that we continue to do that. To just ensure that these models are going to be able to work on any kind of document. It's been an ongoing effort, but it's been really exciting to see the models improve and do so well.
That's so cool because I still remember when I was at SAP Concur, right? We end up needing to create rough number because I don't think this is remotely the correct number any longer. But like when we had to do process emails from each different airline so we could actually extract out the airline information, we had to. I think we wrote something like 250 different templates. So basically, each airline had its own template, and so that way we could extract the information, and we had to update it like almost monthly because at least like 10% of them, in fact, I'm sure the number was higher. We basically had to modify based on the email that was sent. It's like, oh, okay, now we have to extract it here. We have versus have to extract it there. Now, this is a while ago, so obviously it was painful. And not to mention, it was a lot worse with our expenses. Like, dear God, that was insane. Right. So I'm glad that basically the research you're doing right now basically is like, maybe I don't have to write 250 different templates anymore. Cool. I would behoove me. I also have to ask another question. That's my own personal question for, but again, to the researchers here, are we using RL? Because everybody's talking about RL. Everybody's talking about reinforcement learning. I'm just curious if that's actually how we actually do a lot of the fine tuning of the training, or is that involved at all? I'm just curious. The purely personal question here.
We use a mix of the frontier training techniques like LL, SFT, to strengthen, improve the model's capability towards better parsing and also better understanding the underlying structure of the documents. We are definitely using frontier training techniques here.
Sweet. Okay, cool. All right. I got to switch gears because this started with you doing a hackathon project, which is freaking sweet. Okay. I love the fact that you started a hackathon project and now it's like one of the most popular features within the Databricks ecosystem. So really cool. So I got to ask you this question. Mind you, it's also coming from the wire too. Like, yeah, can you describe the engineering behind AI Parse? Because there's obviously you're the one who built the hackathon. Is it the same, by the way? Like what you hacked together and what you actually have fun in production? Is it really different? Did you vibe code it? Okay, these are me adding my questions in, but I'm just curious, like how, love to understand that a little bit better, please.
Sure, happy to. You can imagine it has evolved so much. It's very different from what we originally hackathon, but it's currently production grade. And but first of all, let me give you some context. At Databricks, engineering, product, and research don't operate like three different teams. We really function as one team. And we draft and review PRDs and design docs all together and discuss project planning and priorities together. Basically, we are pretty much always in the same meeting room or group discussion. And we are all aligned with one mission, as I said earlier, that it is to make it fast, cheap, and easy to process and query unstructured data using AI. So our PMs help the team deeply understand what customers are actually trying to do and what features would generally solve their problems. Our researchers build our proprietary high-quality models, benchmark them, and maintain a feedback loop so the models keep getting smarter and smarter. And then engineers take all of that and turn into something that people actually like to use, whether you are a data scientist, a researcher, a data engineer, or a business analyst. So now if you look specifically at engineering behind the AI parse document, there are really two dimensions, the big data and AI. The first, the big data dimension. We are a big data company, so AI parse doc has to scale, and I mean seriously scale, millions or billions of documents, high throughput, high reliability, fault tolerance, all the core principles of the Lakehouse architecture. It integrates with UC and serverless, works across DB SQL, SDP, Genie, AI, BI tools, and most importantly, it powers agent breaks. Secondly, the AI dimension, because we are also an AI company and this is an AI product. Applying AI at this scale is not trivial. It can get slow and extremely expensive, and very quickly, if you cannot, applying AI at this scale is not trivial. It can get slow and extremely expensive very quickly if you are not careful. So we put a lot of engineering into increasing the model efficiency, improving GPU performance and utilization, lowering costs, and making sure things run faster without melting your budget or our GPUs. So in summary, every piece, product design, research, architecture, engineering, all of them are critical to make AI parse document and AI functions broadly, not just work, but work really well.
Oh, that's super insightful. I really appreciate that, Tom. Okay, I just realized we only have about 10 minutes left for this webinar. So I want to. There are 4 questions remaining from the audience. Let me just go through them real fast. Do me a small favor, y'all. Like, just do the quick version of the answers, just because I didn't realize we used up so much time already. So I think this is more toward the research folks, but again, everybody can chime in. Hey, the question is, how deterministic is AI parse document? Will the same document always return the same identical OCR content across cells? Yeah, just curious here. Give me the quick version, because again, we got 3 other questions I want to make sure we chime into real fast.
Okay, yeah. So AirParse documents is highly consistent, but like any other LM-based system, there can be small variations across runs. So we have been systematically measuring how the sampling temperature and decoding strategies affect the parsing quality, and also deterministic LM behavior is active research area. You can refer to blog post from Thinking Machine recently on this topic. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good blog post. Yeah, that's a good call. We'll make sure to link it into this webinar. Related to this, how did we improve AI parse quality improvement? Can we call some of our plans for the future? We covered some of the stuff already, but I did think it's worthwhile just to do the quick summary version since it got chimed in. Yeah.
Okay, I can answer this. So we are continuously getting a lot of feedback from our customers, and we get to look at the hard documents. So we have an idea of the cases where you have to do better. So we're keeping a tab on it, and of course we're trying to make sure that in the next iterations of the models, those modes are fixed. Also, in the future, we plan on supporting more features. One of the features that Z was earlier talking about is that in complex documents, there are table headers, captions, section headers, and there's a lot of hierarchy between all of those elements, which can be important in downstream tasks. And so we plan on supporting generating the hierarchy between all of the elements and all of the bounding boxes at some point in the future. Yeah, so we have a plan for the next few months on how we can keep improving the product.
Oh, that's really cool. We'll definitely have to have another webinar just on that alone, just because the idea of finally putting hierarchies on this type of stuff is actually really freaking cool. All right, sorry. Going to jump to yet another question. This might be more towards you, Archika, but again, anybody can chime in. Are there plans to have confidence scores exposed to the end users? Yeah, sorry. Apparently I can't read anymore. So I'm just curious, are we going to reveal that information at some point?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And the short answer is yes. Confidence scores are on our roadmap. We've been hearing it from a lot of customers, especially ones that kind of have more high risk or they need high fidelity processing of their work streams, so financial, healthcare, those sorts of industries. And so we plan to basically expose confidence scores for the elements that we're parsing to our customers to give them more insight into how we think the system performed on a certain parsing exercise within their document. And then they can make decisions downstream on how they route those documents or pages.
Perfect. Love this. I guess we got another webinar coming. All right. Final question that we have time for. Going right back to you, Connor, star of the show. outside the fact that you want to call me out, right? Why did you want to use Genie to create this demo, man?
I mean, if I think back to like trying to do this in LangChain like a year and a half or 2 years ago, like trying to convert like text to SQL, like there was a lot that you had to think about to get that to work really well. So like I kind of view Genie as like a text to SQL engine, like a really good one at that. And with some of the like if you had some like complex joining logic, or if you had modeled your data, like you can make Genie aware of some of those joins and what your primary keys are. And I find Genie just does a really good job of writing SQL on top of your data that exists in Unity Catalog. So yeah, before we were building it in LangChain and LangGraph, and once you guys came out with Genie, we just loved that offering, and it was really good at writing SQL.
Brilliant. Okay, well, thank you. I love the call out to Genie. I love the call out to, the Montreal restaurants, obviously. But we will then also, Connor, you and I can definitely, off the side, we can go ahead and drop a link to your GitHub repo that actually has all the notebooks without my receipts. Okay, just
I'll make sure I scrub. I'll make sure I take those out.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it, man. But that's it. We're definitely right here near the breaking point for our webinar. So I really appreciate everybody's time for chiming in. I really appreciate for you all joining. I definitely want to appreciate Fanghan, Ziyi, Adyasha, and Archika for joining today's session. You may or may not know, but Carly's in the background helping us run this webinar. So I want to say a thank you to her. And then last but definitely not least, Connor, thank you very much for joining today's webinar. Really appreciate your time, man.
Thank you for having me. It was cool to hear all the cool research going on in the background of these services. So thank you.